Welcome everyone to this live radio show, variety show, I should say, coming from the cosmic radio receptors of KCIW LP 100.7 FM, located in lovely, warm, and windy Banana Belt coastal Brookings in Oregon. My name is Dr. Gigi, and you are tuned into this week's edition of Doc and
Jacques.
My co-host is again Jacques Wolf-Kepner. Hi, Jackie. How are you
I'm doing
yesterday?
Fabulous, Dr. Gigi. It's a beautiful day here. It's
warm.
The 3rd day of July, 2024, the day before the big celebration our country
4th of
celebrates. The 4th of July tomorrow. It's sunny. It's warm. We drove up to Crescent City. And we at the border, right at the border. It went from literally 74 degrees to 82 degrees.
And already, yeah, it was warm.
But beautiful day.
Warmest I've felt since
I agree.
moving here.
I
yeah.
think so this year.
Now, as you all know, we will start each week's show with a segment of full interesting topics we call MD10. Today we have a toxic.
It's toxic. And after that interesting sideline that we will talk with Dr. Gigi about poison, we will have a consequentially cordial, charming conversation between the two of us about subjects that we find dear and clear to us. We'll get to that in just a short moment. We are running on the seat of our pants in some situations because for the first time ever, we've had a cancellation. But that's okay. Yeah. We know it. We got this one down. In fact, I think we know more than they do.
Okay. We pretend. Yeah. We try to top off the hour then with Fun Time Corner.
Yeah, there we go.
Filled with quotes and some, hopefully, funny jokes, or a lot of jokes this time. But we will find out if they're really funny. Before we get to our MD10, let's do some shout-outs to our listeners.
Yeah.
Shari and Chris.
Dr. Sherry.
Sherry. I always say Shari. Dave, Jaden, John, Hoppy.
Hoppy, yeah, that's right. We got Janice, we got Vera, we got Jared, we already said Dave. There's just a lot of Kelly is listening in from Menlo
Kelly.
Park. Mm-hmm. So we've got a lot of interesting, great listenership out there. Thank you so much for tuning into this program on a regular basis. And we are going to have fun today. I think this is a challenge in some way, but you know what? I'm looking forward to it, Doug.
Yeah, hey, bring it on.
We got
Bring the challenge.
What do you got for us today regarding toxins or poisons?
Yeah, the MD10 today is poisons. A poison is any substance that is harmful to our body. It can be swallowed, inhaled, injected, or absorbed through the skin. Now, this is interesting. Like everything is interesting, but this is also interesting.
Very interesting.
Any substance pretty much can be poisonous if too much is taken or inhaled or injected or absorbed.
Not water, though.
For example, can too much water
drinking
be deadly? So let me explain.
H2O.
Yeah. Poisons are often defined by the LD50.
That's MD20. Oh, LD50.
LD50
okay.
is the lethal dose at which 50% of the test population die.
Okay, stop. This kind of gets me creeped out because I assume you're a doctor that 50% of the population they're testing it on are cute little white mice.
Yeah, it depends, right? So often it is rats or mice where they test it on
people, do they?
No, they don't, but they find people who have been poisoned too.
Okay.
We'll get into that in a minute. So water's LD50,
squeak, squeak.
Water's lethal dose, that 50% of the test population in our scenario, it is rats or mice, is over 90 grams per kilograms. And I realize we're in the United States where we don't do the metric system.
Oh, that's 1.5 ounces.
It is about 1.5 ounces per pound. And we know that a pound is about 16 ounces. So a tenth of the body weight, drank in a short time can kill us.
So I have heard of people, I heard it on the news, but somebody that overdosed on water. They went on a water diet.
They went on a water diet?
Or they're drinking like 4 gallons a day, 5 gallons a day. And,
it has to be done in a pretty quick succession. I have heard of a case also seen in the news that a mother wanted the daughter to drink water to keep her kidneys better or such. And
cleansing.
yeah, and so that daughter died of water intoxication. And that happens because the electrolytes are diluted so much that neither our muscles nor our nerves can function.
Wow.
It doesn't happen very often. I mean, we don't go and drink 2.5 gallons of water.
Okay, alcohol,
you
you hear every year at the frat parties, you hear about the unfortunate souls that drink too much beer and it zaps them. They just can't, not because they fell down the stairs. It's because they just simply drank too much alcohol, too much liquid.
Huh.
You're looking at me questionably. I know these things. I went to Cal State Chico. I was a graduate, 78, 79. I don't know. When I graduated, it was a continuous party.
So to be more poisonous or more toxic can mean to have a smaller LD50, meaning a smaller amount can be deadly, right? Or it can happen, or the toxin can be non-reversible, as in there's no antidote, there's nothing that can be done.
Snake bite, we have snake bite antidotes, right?
Yes, we do. Many of them, yeah.
All right.
Or they can be faster acting. The faster acting, the more poisonous. You don't have time to take the antidote, for example. Okay, so that's water. But better known poison substances are cyanide, arsenic, strychnine.
Ooh.
So we're going to talk about those in a second. But these are actually not the most toxic substances known to us either, even though Agatha Christie and those people have a lot of those poisons.
Right.
Let's talk about how some poisons work. What makes poisons, toxins,
Yeah,
toxins?
I've been fascinated by this because of my youth, and I'd read about the horrors of the Nazi and the afterwards, what they did, and what's his name? Goring, was it?
Goring.
Goring, he committed suicide in Nuremberg during trial. He just bit down on a cyanide pill, and it killed him flat. It's pretty amazing. Are you going to talk about that, about how fast it can happen?
Let's talk about what they do, and then we can say why they can work.
The most famous is arsenic, right? Because arsenic in old days.
Yeah, I know. Agatha Christie, right? Is
it deadly? Is arsenic pretty deadly?
Yeah, it can. Yeah, it is deadly if you take enough. So neurotoxins mostly work on the level of how nerves interact with other nerves or with muscles.
Okay.
This interaction is chemical in nature, of course, and the poisons either prolong or intensify or prevent the interaction from happening. So if you think about if it's prolonged or intensified, then it goes from nerve to muscle. You have these muscle spasms, this prolonged...
Ooh, doesn't sound like fun.
No, contraction.
So are you throwing it up, or is it that kind of a
you have these convulsions, yeah. And then, or the muscles cannot contract. And so you're going to have paralysis. And then you can't breathe, for example. So that would be a death sentence for that. So strychnine works actually in the continuous contraction. So you're convulsing and you have that death smile on you because all the nerves tell the muscles to contract.
Wait a minute. What did you just say? Death smile?
Yeah, there's called...
In medical, I've never heard of such a thing. It sounds creepy.
Yeah, because you're pulling back the muscles and you have this...
Oh, my goodness. You should see her, folks. She's showing her fangs. She's like the way she looks at me in the morning.
There are toxins that prevent cellular processes, and that is really probably too much in detail. But most of them work at the level of making energy-rich molecules or the making of proteins. You have to have those processes in order for the cell to survive. So if you don't have those processes, the cell's demise. If a lot of cells die, then the organ dies. And if the organ dies, then most likely the organism or the body dies.
But we have billions of cells.
Yeah.
How can something like strychnine, or was it, what was the other one?
Arsenic and cyanide work this way.
Cyanide is the one that
Yeah.
How can it possibly act and kill you in 120 seconds? It's impossible. They would bite down on it. It would be under their tongue.
Yeah.
I remember reading they'd bite, Goring, but they bit down and they would be
Dead in 2 minutes.
How can that possibly be?
So this is why when you put something under your tongue, there's nausea medication. So Fran,
Nausea medications?
that you put under the tongue, and it works within minutes, because when you put something under the tongue, it will get taken up into the bloodstream right away.
Why? Because we have a bunch of...
Because the bloodstream is right there.
You get those big veins underneath your tongue?
It goes through the skin into the bloodstream. Not everything, not like a big old breadcrumb or something. But if it's small enough and it has the right chemistry, it will go. If you take it otherwise, if you swallow it, it has to go swallowed down. It has to go into the stomach. It has to be broken down there. Then it goes to the small intestine. Then it gets taken up there after it's broken down more and modified with enzymes. And then it goes into the bloodstream. And then it gets twirled around through the body. Once it is in the bloodstream, it goes through the body within 30 seconds. So
how 30 seconds, how fast is that? I mean, what are we talking about? If I had my
very fast.
My
we
index
had
finger and I had it on the tip of my finger, how long is it going to take, you're saying?
30 seconds to come back to your index
30
finger.
seconds for
so
something
the blood
to leave
goes,
my fingertip.
Yeah, so the blood goes back to the heart, and then the heart pumps it to the lungs, and then it pumps it back to the heart, and then back to the circulation. So that all takes 30 seconds.
Wow. So that's
how the stuff that you put under the tongue will act this quickly.
Okay, and how does it biologically? How does it kill you? I mean,
which one?
Well, I mean, like strychnine.
Okay, so strychnine is the one that you have the convulsions. And
the other one.
Well, I'll tell you the strychnine now. Yeah. So you're so raptured in the contraction that you actually harm your muscles. You have rhabdomyolysis. You're breaking down your muscles, and you have so much heat because muscle contractions gives you heat that you have hyperthermia. You have too hot, and rhabdomyolysis, which is lethal to your body after a while. But the arsenic and the cyanide, they will actually close off your energy harvesting of each cell, the ones that need to make in the mitochondria who make the energy, and then...
That's ATP. ATP is food of the cells, and there's like five gates that the food has to go through, and I guess the cyanide, cuts it off?
Yeah, it just opens the gate, so it doesn't do that's really involved, though. That doesn't go each step, so at the end you make ATP. It just opens the gates, and then the ATP is never made.
Rapid cell die-off. Suddenly we're gone.
Yeah, wow. It's very quickly. Now let's talk about some...
happy poisons.
Let's talk about two poisons that are known. They're kind of scary. The first one is ricin.
Oh, ricin. That's the one that weirdo sent to the Congress about 10 years ago.
Yeah, they have...
It was like a dust or something.
Yeah, they open the envelope, breathe it in, and bam, you're not there anymore.
Whoa.
So ricin is obtained from the beans of the castor oil plant.
I ordered a whole bunch on Amazon.
Yeah, so you want to make castor oil, no doubt, right?
Yeah, of course.
The beans are pressed for the oil, and then the ricin actually remains in the fiber, the leftover.
And then they powder that, dry it out.
Mm-hmm. So ricin is a glycoprotein, a sugar, and a protein, and an amino acids together that then go and prevent the cells from making other proteins. So it's like it throws a spoke into their tire to make more proteins. Proteins are important to actually do anything.
Okay, it's a stick into the spoke.
Yeah, okay. From that. And so, what did I say? Spoke into the stick? Okay. So the LD50 of that one is 10 milligrams per kilograms. So that is a millionth of our body weight if we get that much. And if it's inhaled, it's even less than that.
So it'll kill you quick. Okay.
So it's you're basically starving or not working anymore, as if you induce death without being dead.
Ricin is a big one.
Ricin is a big one.
Big. Okay, so when I was doing some research...
You did?
Yeah. What do you mean? I'm a scientist.
Yeah.
Doctor, please. I was doing research and I was asking all these questions on Google.
Yeah.
About poisons. And then finally, an AI thing came up. A little AI chatbot came up and said, "Why are you interested in poisons? Are you getting upset with the doctor? Well, it was like, wait a minute. I guess I am going too deep. And like, what is poison? How do you get it? Where do you go? Well,
It's
was
pretty amazing.
A robotic
yeah,
AI kick.
I told my colleague this today,
Yeah.
actually, and she said, "Oh, that's the government interfering. They're listening in."
whatever.
I do think it is AI. If you ask too many
It's
questions,
AI.
it automatically
AI takes over. Yeah, it just kicks in.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. And why are you asking about poison, sir? We don't ship castor bean oils anymore, okay? All right? You got to do it yourself.
So this next one is super surprising to me. The most toxin out there,
My hair in the morning.
beside the visual toxin,
Oh, okay.
is botulinum toxin.
Botulism. We all kind of know about
We kind of know about
Yeah,
it.
we
I
know
always
much
thought it was the beans. If you don't put the beans in airtight or so.
Yeah. Okay. I always thought it was, botulism. What was the Black Death? I forgot. Oh, that's something else. Oh, sorry.
That's Yersinia pestis, but that's a bacterium. So botulinum is actually, it was defined by Old German or whatever.
Of course. What do you
It was there was sausage that had and it was called botulum or something like that. Was called I'm
It was
German
the
and I
original
don't
blood
know
sausage.
any.
It was the original blood sausage. It killed 14 million.
So they call that botulum, and it's actually made out of a bacteria. Another bacterium is called Clostridium botulinum. Now, Janice or somebody will say, "Hey, I know another Clostridium difficile." So that is the C. diff infection that a lot of people know about diarrhea and such. So they're in the same family.
So it's a bacteria, so it's not fast acting, but it'll kill you flat.
Yeah,
not as
so
fast as,
so
like,
it's
the
not the bacteria doesn't kill us; it's the toxin that kills us. And the LD50 is the tiniest, is 1 nanogram per kilogram, which means it's a trillionth
Whoa,
of one's
just
body
a
weight.
minute amount.
It's 10
in
to
your
the minus
system,
12.
and
It's
you are
nothing.
finished.
Yeah, it's
So a cup could kill the entire.
it's a
population.
million of a millionth.
Wow.
So this is a neurotoxin, so it goes to the nerves, and it prevents the nerves from telling the muscles to contract. So it's paralyzing the body. So that's how we die. But luckily, we have found a way to take advantage of that.
I feel sorry for Lucky Lee. You're an unlucky person.
We do the Botox. That's the same.
Oh, Botox. Yeah.
is the same toxin. So we want to kind of paralyze some certain muscles
Right.
that give us the forehead wrinkles or the.
That's right.
So yeah, it's tiny amounts, but yeah.
Got my lips.
Oh.
Got my lips and my tongue. So that's where Botox is. Okay, cool.
All right. Well, there are some other poisons that Jacques was interested in before he started a drink, and that is the rattlesnake. How does the rattlesnake venom go?
Yeah. How does that work?
That one is a very important one as well because it's not just one thing that happens. So once the rattlesnakes bite you, they inject poison in your leg or wherever they bite you in, and it has quite a few different things that are happening. Number one, it injects enzyme that cause tissue death. That actually just goes and opens up the cells so they leak out. So that's tissue necrosis. Now, when that happens in the muscles, you have, once again, just like with the tetanus, you have rhabdomyolysis. So you're destroying muscles that then the little pieces of the muscles that are floating around go in the kidneys and kill those. And it contains a substance that make the tissue more permeable, meaning the poison can spread much faster and much easier.
How do you upset a baby snake? Take away its rattle. That's one of my jokes. All right, Janice, grab your pen right now.
Now, there's the black mamba.
Oh, yeah, that's what I've always heard. You know, as a kid, I was always interested in the black mamba because I heard it positively would get you.
Yeah, so that one is also a neurotoxin, and it causes paralysis, so you kind of can't breathe anymore. Untreated, 100% fatality.
Wow.
And usually it doesn't start hurting right away, so you possibly don't know that you were bit, but you're dead in 7 to 15 hours.
Wow. Positively. Everybody dies. So 100%.
Of untreated, yeah.
Wow. So that's that terrible looking little snake that they have. I think it's
It's actually not black. I mean, it opens the mouth and then it's black inside or something in the
it's the
mouth.
purple mamba. Pink? Okay, what else? I know about this First World War. There was a horrible thing called mustard gas. The Germans started using it, but then the English came up with their own variety of it, and everybody was throwing these mustard. What's going on that? And
Mustard gas? Well, mustard gas is a mutagenic thing, so it goes in and works with your DNA. So it goes in and changes the DNA. So the DNA is our genetic material in each cell.
yeah.
So if you get contacted with it, so it goes to the cells in your skin, and then you have these blisters because the cells cannot replicate anymore. They cannot make more skilled cells.
Yes.
So then
Nice.
fluid comes out. You have these pustules.
Oh, a lot of fun.
And then the repair cannot happen anymore. You cannot make more cells. And I don't know if it is.
They banned it in the Second World War, so nobody used it that they know of. Of course, the biggest producer of mustard gas or that type in the world today is, guess who?
Us?
The United States.
Yeah.
Patriot.
We still make it?
Possibly. I'm not telling you. Secret. Top secret.
Tell us.
All right. What about, that was a horrible enough death, and I don't want to dwell on too much death here, but what about rat poison and the stuff that, Coumadin? It's Coumadin?
Coumadin, yeah.
Do you prescribe Coumadin for
Oh,
what?
yeah, warfarin, Coumadin.
Warfarin.
Warfarin is
what?
Coumadin. So warfarin, I think it's a brand name. Coumadin is the non-brand. It's a blood thinner. It's not really a blood thinner, but we call it a blood thinner. So the coagulation cascade is prolonged, meaning we make blood clots less efficiently. So that's why it's written for. You don't want to have blood clots. So people who are possibly having AFib, atrial fibrillation, they're on Coumadin, or if they had several strokes, or if they had pulmonary embolisms, or if they had DVTs, they're on these. So we prevent more blood clotting to take place. Now, rat poison, a lot of them are kind of like that. So they have this substance that has the same effect. So if they eat the rat poison, it's really not, they don't suffer really. So they possibly bleed out, or they fall asleep and never wake up because their blood is too thin. So
Wow.
It's
a heady subject. I don't mean to be pulling everybody down into this whirlpool of depression and death, but I mean, poisons kill a lot of people in the United States and worldwide every year. I mean, big time.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. Poison Control Center is got its own center.
Yeah, especially for little kids who get into some medications.
Yeah.
So like Tylenol can be deadly.
Right, because they're, again, in abundance, right? It can just overdo. Mm-hmm. Wow, fascinating topic. I think we could return to it next time and talk about happy poisons. Next week, folks, tune in to KCIW, Doc and Jacques, where we talk about the happiest poisons which you could take, and Google AI chatbot won't come on my screen and say, why are you so interested? What, are you planning on something, Jacques?
Happy stuff.
He didn't even call me by name. All right, well, thanks, Doc. That is interesting. We have spent an entire 23 minutes on that, which is fantastic. Let me put my paperwork together here and kind of go into something that I will tell you about, something that I've been pumping all week long, something that I find absolutely fascinating. Everybody I've talked to finds it fascinating. And it is just something that will, I think, change your thoughts about something big time that affects every one of us on Earth. And that is something we all bow our heads to reverently each and every day. For in the palm of your hand, yes, in your hand, possibly in your pocket, lies a pocket-sized deity, a digital god that billions of people, literally everyone in the world, worship daily. Yeah. Welcome to the Cellular Church. This is a radio show program that will explore humanity's most pervasive modern religion, the cell phone. Never before in human history has a single object commanded such devotion by so many. As of 2024, there are an estimated 8 billion smartphone users worldwide. That means the entire population of Earth. That surpasses the followers of Christianity, Islam, and Buddhism combined. With over 15 billion mobile devices, other types, everything you can imagine, already in circulation. I've got 2 of them in front of me right now during the show.
2 smartphones.
I have an Android on the left, and I have Apple on the right. With over 15 billion of these mobile devices already in circulation, that is 2 for every person on Earth. Are we, well, how do I say it? Are we approaching a technological rapture? Our cellular gods demand constant attention. And guess what, folks? You and I, we all willingly oblige.
Yeah.
We bow our heads in reverence to these little temples that we hold in our glowing hands. And if you think we don't, we all have quickly accepted all those terms and conditions that the digital commandments that are given to us when we work our phones and we live with our phones and our God to activate that phone. We have to submit. Otherwise, we don't get the power, and we want that power.
And we accept those cookies.
And we accept it. Oh, we accept them right away. And if any other religion tried to do that, it would spark unrest and revolt imposed on any other traditional faith. We'd all become atheists. You can't do that. You can't do it. Our like ancient religions, we subscribe to this cellular faith without truly comprehending its mystery. Yet for our pocket deities, we acquiesce without question. We lay down our lives. That's okay. Our smartphones have become omnipotent, overseeing, all-seeing oracles, and they're all-knowing that we turn to for guidance in every aspect of our life. You folks out there listening, doctor across from me, myself included, they are our confessors. They are our keepers of our deepest secrets and desires. They are our saviors that rescue us, if we need rescuing, I guess we do, from boredom and loneliness, right? With the promise of endless connections. But really, what future awaits the devotees of this digital religion? As our cellular gods grow more powerful and ubiquitous, I ask you, Doc, will we find enlightenment or possible enslavement? Our dependence, as we know, has been growing deeper each day as we trust more of our lives and turn over more of our lives and information about us to these silicon deities. So these were some of the things that we were going to talk to today with a guest that was coming in, but I had to cancel. And that person was a cellular high priest. That's okay. It happens. We will go on without it because I find this so fascinating. Again, if I was any other religion and came to you and said, hey, you got to become a member of my church, and this is what you have to agree to. We would give him the finger so fast. We'd say, okay, buddy, see ya, sayonara, and walk and turn the
Claudette would.
That's right. We could. That's right. Claudette. Hey, Claudette. I just think it's something that we are so consumed in. Think about your own. Okay, I'm 66. I started. When did you first get your cell phone? Do you remember when you first got your first cell phone?
I would say around 2007.
I think mine was 2005.
Oh, so I was 13.
Oh. Yeah, right. Okay. That's my thing. Before we get into this, let me stop right here because we have amazingly already gone through half of the show. We appreciate you all tuning in to KCIW We are at 100. Oh, Gigi, am I going to read this, Gigi? Here,
No,
hold
you
on.
don't have to.
No,
I'm
I
just
got it down.
prepared.
I have it. She writes all these nice things for me. We are KCIW, 100.7 FM here in beautiful Brookings, Oregon, where it is a spectacular, beautiful day. And it's what, the third day, and tomorrow is 4th of July.
Yeah.
Regardless of who you sing, you have a voice. And what our community radio station, KCIW, here in Brookings does best is just that. We proudly represent so many entities and noble causes and people that are involved in this wonderful community radio station. And you can too. You really can. You can get in and help out, volunteer, become part of the KCIW radio family. We do community projects. We sponsor things. We do this, and we're always looking for those people that will serve and contribute their time and money to an exemplary local nonprofit radio station like KCIW. You can find out more by visiting our website at kciw.org. Get involved, folks. Seriously, it's something that's beyond the cellular range. We're doing the
Although you can
old-fashioned.
hear it
Yeah.
on the cell phone,
Yeah.
and you can hear the podcast.
Right, we're here. Okay, let me pull up my paperwork. I love the sound effects. Tom is in there right now. Tom Bozak's solo as our engineer today, and he's
Himself.
Yeah, he's putting all the buttons in it, and he's going to say,
So don't
later
disturb
on,
his ears.
Don't shuffle your paper. Like
Cringe. Okay,
he just
move on.
gave me the nod. All right, Doc. You and I talk about the cellular thing, because everybody I've sprung this on all week long has just said, whoa, dude, man, I never thought of it like that. Whoa, as they check their phones constantly. You got your first one in 2007?
Yep.
I graduated from a pager to a cell phone in 2005. I sold one in 1985, a cell phone the size of a shoebox. It was the first cellular company in San Francisco, and I went down the peninsula to Hillsborough, and went to the golf course, and I sold two of them for $2,800 a piece to two doctors. So that was and they were the size of shoeboxes.
Yeah.
They were about 4 pounds, 5 pounds each. They were ridiculous things. But I used to fake it. I'd drive in my little convertible.
With a shoebox.
Yeah, Carmen, yeah, with this thing up my ear. So I thought it was so cool. People show off like that. So you got yours in 2005. 2007. I was 2005. Mm-hmm. Do you see a big change in your watching or your worshiping this entity in the past 10 years? I do.
Oh
10 years
yeah,
ago.
for sure. I mean, how long have you been on Facebook?
How long have I been on Facebook? Actively for the past year and a half.
That's it, year and a half. I mean, that one, Facebook and TikTok and
Instagram.
Twitter, I mean, that is
X.
Twitter X. That is taken over, right?
Yeah.
I mean, gee.
I just think back 10 years ago, you would go off for a walk, not ever think about taking your phone with you. It didn't have to have it tethered to you. We could untether quite easily. We went camping, I think, my kids would tell me, I think it was 2008, and we left the cell phone in a bag, all of our cell phones on, but we left them. We didn't go back and get them. Just said, it's okay.
Yeah,
we'll go
you probably
camping for 3 days.
You probably didn't have reception either, right?
Possibly.
The reception house.
Oh,
we were, as a matter of fact, when we were driving across the country here, recently, you and I, we had cell phone connection just about everywhere. I remember before, especially in the Great Salt Lake Desert or the flats, there was nothing.
Yeah,
You know, when
well,
I
we got
taught it in Tooele, which is 37 miles out, there was no reception in between Salt Lake and Tooele, basically, because there was nobody there. It was pretty rural. Now, we can be connected throughout.
Right. And there's so many of these companies that are bringing us our gods. Think about it. We have Cellular, we got Verizon, we got, what was the one I was on?
T-Mobile, Xfinity.
T-Mobile, Xfinity, Cricket. You know, we got all these, there's new ones coming up all the time. Mint, they're offering these lower and lower prices for a basic text and it's a phone, but at the same time, we want more.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on kind of all unlimited text, but limited on Wi-Fi, and it kind of sucks when we're out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you need the Wi-Fi.
Sometimes, I couldn't use GPS, for instance, because it was using up all my Wi-Fi allowance, you know?
Yeah.
So we find ourselves caught in this this religion that is got a grip on us.
Yeah,
It's got us.
my son has a Huawei phone still, and he's had it for many, many years, and he needs Wi-Fi. He can use it for just about anything, but only on Wi-Fi. So he lives in Salt Lake City. There's a lot of Wi-Fi he can get, and he has it at home. But if you want to download something, if you want to be on the current with other people, if you want to go to the streaming devices, you need more than 1 pixel an hour or byte or whatever it's called, 1 kilobyte to download. Yeah, we do. We increase our apps that we have on the phone. We increase our time we are spending on the phone because there's so many things we can look up, like the poisons. A lot of the stuff I looked up.
All right there.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. And I was going to ask our guests about what is 4G, 3G. Remember, it was 2G, then 3, now it's 4, and then it was the big jump into 5. And of course, remember the people 20 years ago said, we're all going to be dead in 5 years because these things let off so much radiation. And if you put it sleep with it within 6 feet of your body, you're going to have brain damage. You're going to be dead within 5 or 10 years. Well, 20 years have passed now, and we are still using these phones. So maybe a lot of these things are hype. We are totally dependent upon it. Anybody that's traveled recently, just look around you. The airports were amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Airports are amazing. Everybody, literally 101.1% of everybody in the airport has a phone in their hand.
And they're often talking.
Yeah, either talking or they're just, it's a way to not meet people. It's a way to isolate yourself.
Right, yeah.
It's a way to put yourself on an island in your own little world, and it's just good or bad.
I remember when the Walkman came up and people walked with a Walkman, the CD, the little disc player, the little, what are they called? The little players.
CD.
Yeah, the one before.
Pocket slamming, pocket music.
Yeah. So, but then you had the earphones on too, right? And so I remember my dad saying, that is so bad. You are isolating yourself. You teach yourself not to talk to other people. And it really... And that was the Walkman or whatever it was, when you walked and jogged. And now this is 24/7, really.
Yeah. And of course, there's no age barrier, right? I mean, young kids are seeing.
Yeah.
Right?
And so I see that a lot too, that the little kids have a phone. I don't know if it's their phone, but they know how to handle the phone. While I talk to the parents, for example, the kids know how to handle the phone. They're quiet. They're looking at whatever. They're flipping through.
Right.
But they know. I mean, they can barely talk. And they know how to use the phone.
My granddaughter, is about 2, coming in 2 pretty soon. And, September. Sorry, Ella and Fallon. But Fallon, my daughter, said, Dad, she's had a camera and she's had a phone looking in her face since she was born. That's all she looks at. She doesn't really see humans. She sees this shiny yellow god with a little glowing screen that we are constantly pointing at her face, taking pictures.
Yeah,
they have it. They're
get
born
used to it. Yeah,
with this. We all, in our 66 and younger, we weren't born this way. We were born without. We had our landlines.
We had landlines. Yeah, I remember getting the landline. No, we don't want to diss the cell phones, right? Now, tell Jacques, what do you like on the phone?
Well, instant connectivity.
Yeah.
I could find poison information real quick.
You get
I can't be subversive about it. You have all this information right at your fingertips.
Yeah.
And it makes it, and then it is entertaining. People are, just think about it. We don't have a TV at the house.
No.
You and I haven't had a TV it's been 10 years for me since I've even thought about even having a TV. But the phone can fix it. Maybe an iPad is kind of close. So, I'm just kind of used to the small screen things.
You're active on.
I'm big on FaceTime because I'm promoting the show. Yeah, the show is a big part of my life, and it's KCW.
And you know what's going on? I mean, just now this weekend. Geez, how many dances
how many things are going on? We got so many parties to go to. I forgot.
Yeah,
there's one that just started 15 minutes ago. Folks, we're going to leave right now. We forgot about the Black GTO. By the way, Black GTO is playing tomorrow night at
tonight. Yeah,
tonight, the deck party in Crescent City, folks. Go on down to Crescent City. It's the biggest party at Inoteca of the year. There'll be 500, 800 people down there. It's amazing. Black GTO, Vince Dana, our guest from last week, is playing there. What do you like most about it? cell phones?
So in the beginning, I really didn't want to have cell phone. I did not want to be tethered to it. That's why it took so long for me to have one. I have to have one for work now. So I can look up. People ask me about medication. If I don't know everything, I have to look it up, interactions, adverse effects. So I do that every day. I have to verify controlled substances through that system, through my phone. Everything goes, I can sadly be reached on that phone for work more often. But yeah, information, a lot of information. And since I've met you, and now I'm tracking my stupid steps, which I certainly
Yeah, we
didn't
both
do
got
before.
Apples. Yeah, well, one of my phones is an Apple. It still tracks my steps because she outdoes me by 5,000 steps every day. It really ticks me off. It's like, wait a minute, I cheat. I add data. But I should have told you that. There's untethering classes now being offered and seminars. Honest to goodness, there are people that are offering how to untether from your phone. And what they do is they start with a half-hour increments. You go in and they take your phone and it's 1.5 hour. There you go. That's the one to use. You get a whole half hour and people stress out. Because what was the name of that phobia?
Nomophobia.
Nomophobia, coined in 2008, British Journal of Medicine. Came up with the term nomophobia, meaning
The anxiety when you're without your phone.
no more phone phobia. And people freaked out, and they still do. They freak out even more. So I've turned around 20 minutes into a trip, go back to the house because I left my phone. I can't go up to Brookings from Crest City and not have my phone on me. My God, what happens if somebody might call me? Oh, I also want to know what's going on with scams. Does everybody getting as many scams as we are getting?
You mean phone call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just ring and you answer it. There's no answer because they want you to call them back. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, possibly. Now, what with my phone that I got 2 or so years ago, it now says spam risk or a telemarketer.
Potential spam.
Yeah, that is
right.
so cool. So I don't have to even think about
I
answering.
wonder
that.
how these, I was going to ask our guest today, those that run the businesses, cell phone companies, how are these scammers getting all these phone numbers? They have to go through a company, right? They can't just generate their own
like
phone.
they've sold the emails before. Yeah, you're right. I mean, they get the phone numbers. So I have a Florida number because that's where I got this number.
Well, that's a scam. That's a scam number. Anything from Florida,
So I get Florida 305 area codes, and I don't know one person there anymore, so I know it is a scam. But so they just dial through every number and see if somebody answers, or they really get the number. I mean,
it's a real problem. I think everybody out here listening to the show is going to be nodding your head going, you know what, it's getting out of control. It's just scam. And then we all know of somebody that's been scammed for thousands and tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, they
Horror
can
stories.
once you answer. I was wondering about that too. How can they be such intruders into our lives? But then, before then, you couldn't block those callers. Now you can. We have the ability to block. Although I don't
they
know
just
how much.
regenerated
Yeah,
another
they just
phone
make.
number.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I'm tired of even going through that. It takes too much time to sit there and block and report spam. I'm not doing that anymore. I just delete it. I just, because it's just, they are out of control. They are in control. So, folks, how is it with you? Where do you find your life with cell phones?
Yeah. Is it the deity that you bow to and you're freely giving everything? Do you appreciate what you have? Do you feel bogged down by it? I think it's probably everybody has every part of it, right? We all want to be on the phone. We want to be connected.
Yeah.
We want to talk to people. We want to find out more. We want to read the book for free. We want to go to Amazon Prime and watch something, or YouTube. I mean,
and buy something on Amazon.
Oh yeah, I'm Amazon Queen. Hello.
There's something we would be remiss without talking about, and it's not so sensitive, but it's pornography. I think for the younger population, pornography is still, it's made pornography do a whole new, it's reinvented itself in a huge way.
Yeah.
The reason why Starbucks has cut back on Wi-Fi connectivity and Walmart is now restricting it, whereas in the past you could just go in and just get it, is why? Because they're finding out massive use of pornography.
The downloading, yeah.
Yeah, so that means that Starbucks just came out 2 years ago, said they're going to cut it back because they found 75% of all usage in their coffee shops.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. The guys you're never really looking over the next person. Actually, right? I'm going to assume it's mainly guys.
I'm assuming they're all studying. I mean, that's what
they're studying. Studying.
Studying for classes or so.
And that's one of the etiquette rules of cell phone usage. Is you notice when people have to put their code in, their passcode, we immediately turn our heads. We don't want to look at that.
Yeah.
You never. Every once in a while, you get a Hawkeye guy that looks over your shoulder. Wait a minute, what's that number you're putting in there? If you have anything on your phone that's compromising to you or your partner, it shouldn't be on your phone. If you have things that you wouldn't feel comfortable speaking with your family and friends, you shouldn't have on your phone. Again, that's something that at my age, it's different. I suppose if I was younger, my kids, they talk candidly about it. They said there's a lot of stuff. And I wonder, how do you prevent your children from seeing this stuff, young children particularly?
Well, there's the parental guides, yeah.
Do you think kids can outsmart their parents?
Oh, I certainly think so.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. I think kids are seeing a lot. The famous one came up with my kid, and I said his name's Bob, and Cal put in B-O-O-B.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Bob, he spelled Bob, and pictures of boobs came up. So, I mean, you're not supposed to look at that, kid. I mean, that's how pervasive it is. It's so instantaneous now at 5G. What is a 6G? And where is it moving to? Where is it going? Where are we going with this new?
And why is it going that way? Because there's money. I mean,
because there's money worldwide.
There's money.
The richest billionaires in the world are the top 10. Most of them are involved somehow or another with cell phone, because just think of the lucrative market you have. You have a captive audience. You don't have that many providers. You only have a few cell phone makers, people that make like Apple and Android, and what other names are there? There's really not many.
Motorola.
Yeah, Motorola, right? So they've got a collective market on us, and they're also, by the way, the cloud. They're collecting all this information, and they have unlimited. They have the universe to store all our information.
Is that?
And why aren't cops? I mean, you know what detectives have done? They used to have detective departments. Ray Gary would speak to this, where they'd have 10 ladies and men working in today they got 2, because all they're doing is they surf Facebook, because all the thieves and muggers and criminals, they're on Facebook. They're on some social media, so they just figure out what names they're using, and they can look up, because everybody wants to talk about themselves. They want to show out how groovy their life is.
So they're talking about how they just stole something?
But it could be. I mean, that's one of the things they do. Detectives now follow the social media.
Yeah.
Because criminals, just like you and I, non-criminals, we are non-criminals like you and I, we're on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm now.
You just got on Facebook. Yeah, she's new. She had to keep up with me. But thank you for all my Facebook listeners and all the people are it is. It's a prestige. Whether if I didn't have the show, I don't know. And the K-Fug show, I don't think I would be so active on. I wouldn't be sitting there and just saying, "Oh, it's a great day today. She's coming down to the river, maybe."
Yeah,
It lets us know the social a little bit.
I have a former sister-in-law who is super. I mean, just today I saw I didn't see him, but there were 5 posts of her just in the morning, and she lives. She does so much. Before, when she worked at Starbucks, you could stamp it. I'm at this Starbucks. I'm doing this right now. So she put a timestamp on there when she was at Starbucks, for example. And I never really got into it. I didn't understand it. But just recently, she posted something that says, I think it was her, that says, don't think people who put pictures up and about their animals or their vacations or whatever they're doing to brag. No, they're there to share their happiness. So to see it positive, and seeing that, it really makes a lot more sense. If you see pictures, people doing, travels, where I will probably never go or so, not saying, oh, they want to
I
brag
did it
that
on
they
a trip
went
to
there.
Germany. I was
Yeah,
recording it, telling
and I
on day
thought,
3. We're
geez.
having all sorts of fun.
You did, and I thought,
Somewhat. I finally
geez.
dropped off. I
Maybe
stopped at
he's
day 11.
bragging. But I think it is sharing of happy moments. I think that
Okay,
is
so there
really
are private
cool.
usage of Facebook, and I didn't even know this, but our new friend Jenny, she said, "Oh no, it's on private. I'm not going to give you I'm not on Facebook for you. It's just my family to share." I didn't know they had such a thing, so I learned something new each and every day. So maybe we should check out but then, I don't want to be
Private.
so popular. Right? I don't want to be so popular, darn it. I'm like, I look and if I don't have any comments, I get really upset. Somebody, please comment. Claudette always comments on.
Yeah,
Danielle Bird, she's so nice. She always comments on everything I put out there.
Oh, so
and Doc
does your Doc,
Bellardi,
yeah, your
Doc
guest from
Bellardi,
today.
yeah.
You had
These folks
some.
are behind me 100%. Well, here is we're going to unravel this right now by saying we are in this church, folks. If it's good or bad, where's it going? Oh, what about those eyeglasses that came out from Google a few years ago? Oh, it was an Apple glasses. It was a Google glasses. See, those failed. They never took.
They never made it so you could kind of direct your eyesight and open an app that way. Well,
Right.
it might.
Are
be
we
bad.
going to the way of Star Trek where everything is just on visual screens in the ether?
It might be. Yeah, he might be we might not be ready for it. I think we have to evolve. There's always something new.
The military's got it. I guarantee it. Military started all this stuff. Seriously, the internet was started by the internet. So,
and Star Trek has it, so it will come.
yeah,
back.
darn right. Spock included. Well, where are we in this world of the cellular church? We are all members. You, I, and everyone else here in this room and out there and throughout the world, we're all members of this church. We bow down and we revere this entity, this God, our gods that are right before us at our fingertips. And we don't have to study hard. We don't have to carry a big Bible around with us. We don't have to learn chants. We don't have to do anything. It's just all right there if we just subscribe and sign off on the bottom and saying, I agree.
And we can totally make it our own. We can only use the apps we want to have. We can really personalize it to what we want. I think that's part of the attraction.
Right.
I mean, everybody wants to talk on the phone,
Right.
But the apps are so individualized, and many of them are free. So
millions of apps. There's millions
an
of
app
apps.
for it.
I went. Safeway has their super weekly deal, so I got their app, and it sent me. I clicked on it. I said, "Open up Safeway app." I don't have it yet. I was checking into it, so I clicked on it. The first thing came up said, "What's your name and social security number?" I thought, something's weird here. So I clicked off, and I went to Safeway later in the day, and they said they never. That's a spam site set up just to but people. I'm sure. Social Security. Here you go. I want a special deal on shrimp. I want those colossal shrimp, 14 to 16 for $2.97 a pound. Yeah, it's like 1980 prices. Doc, it's been really interesting talking with you today about the cellular God that you and I and everyone else is involved with, and it crosses over. You could be 95, 102, and you're still on your cell phone.
Yeah.
So we found that out.
Because you can be, yeah.
Because you can be. Okay. What do we got? What time is it? It's
fun time.
It's fun time corner. We have some really good jokes today. I hope we have enough. We have enough. Take out your pens and papers right now because you're going to want to keep these quotes and these jokes particularly. Tom is our instant critic in the engineer's booth, and he will either shake his head or he'll laugh and give me a thumbs up. All right, where are we? I have mine on. I gotta open up my phone. Did you write some of them down for me?
No, I wrote my quotes down, though.
Oh, okay.
He is so unorganized. You need a cell phone to organize yourself.
Oh, how about rattlesnake venom? Well, that's old. That's
okay,
old.
I'll start with the
please.
first quote. May I?
Yes, please.
One pain is cured by another. Catch some new infection in your eye, and the poison of the old one would die. I'll say it again.
Oh, she gets so mad when I ignore her. Oh, you should see this look she just gave me. She gave me the death smile.
I'm already banned from saying jokes, but your quotes, just because you don't get it.
Okay, get it? Say it again.
Okay. One pain is cured by another. Catch some new infection in your eye, and the poison of the old one would die. It's from William Shakespeare.
Oh, I sort of got that one. Yeah, maybe not. Hey, where do pirates get their hooks? Where do they get? From secondhand stores. I thought that was good.
That was a good one.
Okay, what else you got?
Okay, this is a good one by Karl Marlantes or Marlantes. I don't know how you pronounce it, but he is an author and he's a war veteran. So when I saw this quote, I had to look it up because I thought, huh? So this is what the quote is. It won't hurt you. It's just to kill plants. It's called Agent Orange. And it won't bother humans.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
And, there was Agent Brown, there was Agent Orange, there was Agent Red. There were like 3 or 4 different.
Yeah.
ones.
So that's what they were told, and it is a neurotoxin. Well, it's actually not it's sort of a neurotoxin. It's a toxin that contains digoxin. Digoxin is also found in the foxglove, or also called
we got that girl in the backyard, and we were picking
We
it the other
do.
day. Took a bath in it.
Yeah, so that one
So that one, if it won't hurt you, it's just to kill plants. It's called Agent Orange, and it won't bother humans. Well, just like 9 out of 10 doctors used to smoke Camel cigarettes. Those big ads they put on in Life magazine.
They were always
Yeah,
doctors.
9 out of 10 doctors smoke. And it shows a doctor, always a man, never a woman doctor. Man in a white suit. I prefer L&M or Camel. Okay, here's a good one.
Yeah.
What kind of music do bubbles hate?
Bubbles?
Yeah.
What?
Pop.
Oh, that is a cute one.
What does a house wear? What does a
The house where?
Yeah, what does a house wear?
What?
A dress. A dress.
Oh, an address.
What's the house address?
Oh my gosh, they're really
Yeah, these are sophisticated. I can
jokes.
How do you know a vampire's sick? This is a deep one. How do you know a vampire's sick? Because they're always coughing. Okay, your turn.
A poison of selfishness destroys the world.
A poison of selfishness destroys the world. Wow.
Catherine.
Wow. But if it's happy poison, which we're talking about next week, so
You
tune in
better
to
tell me what
KCIW,
happy
Dr.
poisons
Jacques.
are. Okay.
Hey, how do billboards talk amongst themselves?
I don't know.
They use sign language. Billboards, they use sign language. You know why the French like snails, don't you?
No.
Because they hate fast food. We didn't have any snails when we were in France. Why didn't we?
Because you didn't want to.
I did. I don't need a snail. I'll do everything
In the
for you
little
once.
house. And the little corn. Yeah, Helix pomatia. Yeah, what are they called?
Helix pump. Of course, doctor.
Pomatia. Those are.
Guess what I found out 2 days ago, by the way,
What?
about you.
Oh, what?
How long have we known each other now? About 3 years?
Yeah, 3
You're
years.
my doctor, and then been together for a year and a half. I just found out you have a doctorate. You're not a doctor, you're not a physician or a medical doctor.
I'm not?
Well, you are.
Yeah.
That too.
Okay.
But you also have a doctorate in business administration. I didn't know that.
it's
And you got how many masters? 3 masters.
Yeah.
And I said, one of them is you have a master's in pathology, but it's philosophy of pathology, right?
It's a Master's of Philosophy in Experimental Pathology.
Okay, and I said, just drop the philosophy because it sounds bad. And she says, Jack, do you know what PhD stands for? I go, oh, physician? No, she goes, philosophy.
Doctor
of philosophy. Okay, she's always showing me. Our Germans are so damn smart.
Okay, I have one more quote.
Okay.
The poison dart is hidden in the raisin tart.
Who wrote that? The poison dart.
Christopher Paolini. Don't know who that is.
Wow. Do you know how Rome was torn into pieces?
How?
With a pair of Caesars. Caesars. Okay.
Yeah, not good.
Do you know why I always knock on the refrigerator before I open it, Doc? Because I don't want to see the salad dressing. What did the pickle say to the other pickle?
What? You're done after this.
Deal with it. Okay.
Those are cute jokes, I have to
Those
say.
are pretty cool.
But you know what? We are done with being wrapped up here. Time flew again with your fantastic jokes. And we're done with our live radio variety show. You have been listening to Doc and Jacques on KCIW LP 100.7 FM in Brookings, We hope you have enjoyed the show with some fun facts, toxins, and cell phone stuff.
Be happy, be safe on 4th of July. Peace and love. We'll see you next week with a great guest. Can't wait. Peace and love. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.